Hey folks, T and I are now here doing some really crazy stuff. So we had that cold front come through and put down rain, and it rained. Oh my God, it rained. And so it's a very late season cold front. There's a little girl in there. And there's a slight chance of a frost or freeze. And everybody says, you know, Erin, you got your stuff in too soon. I'm saying, well, no, I didn't. T and I would do this up in Montana to try and get an early start on the season. Considering how warm this winter and all was, we went ahead and got going, and you can see how big our potatoes are because of it. And, all right, so let me talk you through a little bit of this. So we have a few tarps, as you can see, where we're covering it. And everywhere, one of our summer plants, there are cold sensitive plants, we've put our little pots. So everywhere where you see one of those pots, underneath it is a plant. And there's a bunch of them right there. And where we can, we're going to cover as much stuff as we can. And then, now, heads up on the potatoes. The potatoes can take a burn off. In other words, you can get a frost on the top of them, and it'll kill them off. And pretty much every year that T and I were growing up in Montana, that happened just about every time. So what we'd end up doing is having them come back even stronger. And when they did, they did just fine. Now, remember I was telling you the other day, I had a whole bunch of them popping up there. It's a whole lot easier to see them when you got your little pots sitting on them. Call them hats. Give them a winter hat. That's what we're doing, buddy. We're giving them a winter hat. Because if you come over here, and you look under there, you can see one popping up. Ooh, actually, there's one a little more leafed out. Another thing you can do is, where is that dude? Right here, look. Let me dig down in here. I can take and just do a light covering of dirt right there. And that'll just kind of act like a blanket, keep it close to the ground. So, folks, I'm going to have to redo this area. There's a whole lot that didn't come up yet. So, a lot of that corn didn't. And there was like 9 rows of corn here. It's a pretty good sized patch of it. But, alright, so T, did you grab the remay? Oh, she's just doing boxes. Alright, so I'm not worried about brassicas. So my kale, cabbages, cauliflowers, all of that stuff, they can handle a good hard frost, freeze. Not a big deal for them. It really isn't. What I got to worry about is I put in all my tomatoes, my little seedlings, there, and all the way down the line, and they're nightshades, and they really don't look like they like cold. They just don't. So I've got a piece of remay, and the remay is row cover. And if you can get some, I'd recommend you get some. Did you bring it? Fortunately, it's going to be real still, which means the tarps aren't going to blow around. All right, so she's got it. We're going to open it up and get it done because it's like a big bed, and you need 4 hands on the sheet to make this bed. So I'll be right with you. Pulled out a little bit, and our kids seem to think it's a toy. It's a toy. It's a play toy. They've been underneath every tarp, all the tarps underneath them all, to see what's going on with them. Isn't that right, Mittens? Like checking it out. Now, if it was really, really windy, I put a couple rocks up there. You could put rocks and stuff on it. See, there's a little breeze, and it picked that end up. Let me get a couple of these rocks right here. You found a 5-leafer? Hang on, let me get this end. This stuff is very, very lightweight. Just like when you're making a bed, new sheets. Don't you be clawing in it. Hey, come on, get out of there. How you like that, folks? Told you we got a lucky place. 5-leaf clover. A true 5-leaf clover. And you know, I had a comment some time back. Well, that's not clover. I'm gonna tell you what. I have purchased seed for
here's a 4.
5 or 6 different. There's a 4. Look at you. You done got a 4-leaf. 5 or 6 different clovers out here. So we got this red clover. You got your little regular white clover. And have to see some of the other stuff. There's some really neat clovers that we
another 4.
got. Another one. Look at that. Anyway, folks, protect your stuff with hats and blankets, and keep the kitties out of it. All right. So I thought I'd show you what it is we're actually putting over it, but it's ag fabric row cover. You see how they kick dirt up over top of it, and they've used wires and stuff to make a little hoop. It's really good for keeping the insects off and helping keep light frosts off. And it still lets light in and the air in. You can see that. I'd like to have a whole lot more of that stuff. But this is going to cover all my brassicas. It's going to cover all my brassicas to keep the bugs off of it this year. So we'll get that covered. Not the tomatoes. I don't care about them. We're just going to protect the... And she's back over on it.
Yep.
All right. There you go.